Okay, today we're diving straight into some really dark territory. We're talking about encounters that go beyond what most people think of when they hear supernatural. Forget ghosts for a moment. We are looking at 3, frankly, terrifying experiences with the Jinn. Now, these are entities from Arabic mythology, Islamic theology, too, and, the word Jinn, it's where we get genie from, right?
Yeah.
But these aren't the friendly blue guys in lamps. Not at all. They're described as powerful, intelligent beings, and often really, really malevolent.
That's right. And the key thing to grasp, based on the source materials, is that Jinn have free will. They're not just forces of nature. They're said to be created from smokeless fire. It's a different kind of creation than humans.
The smokeless fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because they have free will, their personalities vary. Some might be, neutral or even decent. But the ones that feature in these kinds of chilling accounts, they tend to be depicted as highly aggressive, deeply evil.
So closer to demons and Western ideas.
That's often the closest comparison made, yes. They can interact with our world physically. They can appear as animals, sometimes as other people, or even in these grotesque sort of hybrid forms.
And those appearances, those encounters, they sound devastating. Let's get into the first account. This one takes place in Iraq. It's the summer of 2009. The main war is over, but things are still tense, dangerous.
A very difficult environment. Heat, lack of reliable electricity, background threat of violence.
Exactly. The narrator's staying with family, and right behind their house, there's this abandoned building. Everyone in the village knows it. They call it the Jin House. Simple as that.
Just acknowledges its nature.
Yeah, and it has this really dark history. It wasn't abandoned because of the war or decay specifically. It was abandoned people couldn't live there. Multiple families tried.
And what happened to them?
They were either scared out by things escalating, or they suffered absolute tragedy. The last family. Their story is harrowing. It started with small things.
Yeah.
Waking up, the TV's upside down, odd stuff.
Minor disturbances. Almost testing the waters.
Seems like it, because then it got much worse. Every other morning, they'd find their furniture outside.
Outside the house?
Yeah. Beds, chairs, cupboards, just placed out front, perfectly intact. Moved silently in the night.
That moves beyond simple poltergeist activity. That's psychological pressure. Intentional.
And then it got personal. Horribly personal. The Jinn, or whatever was in there, focused on the youngest son. He started sleepwalking. But not just around the house.
Where did he go?
Miles away. Through dangerous areas, apparently, often ending up at the local cemetery. Then he'd just walk back, get into bed, wouldn't remember a thing in the morning.
Terrifying for the parents.
Utterly. And it led to the final, awful climax. One night, during one of these sleepwalking episodes, the boy found a gun. He shot and killed one of his sisters.
Oh, no.
In the chaos that followed, the house itself caught fire. The family fled, obviously. What was left of them? We're told the other sister, the surviving one, she's now medically insane, institutionalized. The trauma just broke her.
A complete destruction of a family linked to that house.
Completely. So years pass. The narrator has to visit a relative, and the only way there is past this house, the Jin House. They've got 2 little cousins with them, a 4-year-old walking and a 2-year-old being carried. Her walking past, trying not to look. You can imagine. Broken windows, scorch marks, old broken TVs scattered around.
The remnants of the last tragedy.
Yeah. But you know how it is. Sometimes you have to look. Their eyes went up towards the roof, and there was something there, perched right on the peak of the roof.
What did it look like?
This is where it gets really strange. It had the body, the sort of bulk, of a donkey.
A donkey? On a roof?
Yes. But it was sitting exactly like a cat sits, upright on its haunches, balanced perfectly.
A donkey's body, a cat's posture. That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. The narrator just stared for like 10 seconds, trying to compute it, make it fit reality. And in that exact moment, both kids started screaming, absolute bloody murder.
Both of them. Even the one being carried.
Both. Simultaneously. And the 2-year-old, remember, couldn't even see it. His face was buried in the narrator's chest.
So he sensed it. The presence alone was enough.
Must have been. Sheer terror. And the creature's eyes... This is another impossible detail. It was pitch black, but the narrator could see his eyes perfectly clear, staring right back, and the color, they couldn't even describe it, just wrong, unnatural, burning through the dark.
Visible in pitch darkness, defying optics.
Yeah, the brain just couldn't process it. It felt physically wrong, and then the thing started to stand up.
It moved.
Began that slow movement like it was unfolding itself, and that was it. Instinct took over. The narrator grabbed the 4-year-old, turned, and just ran. Didn't look back.
That combination. The donkey form, the cat posture, it feels deliberate.
Mm-mm.
The sources suggest Jinn, being from smokeless fire, lack inherent solidity. When they manifest, they might choose forms that are deliberately contradictory or grotesque.
Why? To mock us.
Perhaps to mock human perception, yes. To cause that cognitive dissonance, that deep unease. It's a form of attack in itself, a physical lie made real.
And the narrator mentioned feeling like even as they watched it, the creature was shifting somehow.
Shifting form while remaining the same.
Like it wasn't quite solid, a fluid shape within a defined outline, just deeply unsettling.
That points to something not entirely of our physical dimension, something fluid, less bound by our rules.
Okay, wow. Let's shift gears completely, from a haunted village in Iraq to a military deployment. This next story comes from a soldier, southern Afghanistan, middle of the night, around 2 a.m.
Another high-stress environment, but this time with advanced technology involved.
Right. The soldier's on watch, scanning the area with night vision goggles. Standard procedure. About 75 yards out, someone steps out from behind a corner. Looks like a man at first. Tall, maybe taller than the average local Afghan.
A potential threat in that context.
Definitely. But then the figure turns and looks directly at the soldier.
Yeah.
In its eyes. They were so bright, they immediately started to burn out the night vision goggles.
Burn them out, you mean damage the equipment?
Yes. Like staring into a searchlight. The light amplification tubes just overloaded instantly. Fried the goggles.
That's not normal. NVGs amplify existing light. They don't typically get destroyed by a light source like that unless it's incredibly intense.
So the soldier, reacting instantly, rips the goggles off his face, looks with his naked eyes, and he sees them. The eyes. Described as neon red blood.
Neon red blood.
Blindingly bright, like looking at the sun, he said. Painfully intense, even without magnification.
Again, defying the darkness. A self-luminous source of incredible power. This resonates with the idea of Jinn originating from fire or energy.
Needing more information, the soldier then uses this thermal optic on his machine gun to get a heat signature.
Okay, so shifting from light amplification to heat detection. Yeah. What did the thermal show?
This is the most disturbing part. The eyes were so incredibly hot, they burned out the thermal optic too.
The heat sensor overloaded.
Instantly. Just white hot, then dead. But, and this is the kicker, the rest of the figure's body was registering as intensely cold.
Hot eyes, cold body. Simultaneously.
Yes. So cold, it stood out sharply against the minimal background heat of the desert night. An absolute zero silhouette with burning points for eyes.
That's physical impossible by our understanding. Extreme heat localized to the eyes, extreme cold for the body.
Yeah.
It violates thermodynamics.
Completely. It's a total contradiction. And the creature, it just stood there for a moment, moved its head slightly, like it was curious, cocking its head.
Studying the soldier.
Seemed like it. Studying the soldier, maybe the reaction, the failing technology. Then it just turned, stepped back around the corner, and was gone.
He vanished.
Gone. And the soldier, he never reported it, never told anyone in the army who would believe him. Eyes hot enough to melt optics, body cold as vacuum.
It's understandable. But that display, it wasn't hiding or sneaking. It feels like a demonstration.
No, so?
The Jinn sees the soldier relying on human technology, night vision thermal sights. And it deliberately, contemptuously destroys that technology by defying the very physical principles it operates on.
Showing how powerless our tools are against it.
Exactly. It's a statement of superiority, of fundamental difference. Your physics don't apply to me.
Yeah.
It's almost arrogant.
Failing. Okay, so we've had an accidental encounter at a haunted site, a bizarre confrontation on a battlefield. Our final account is different again. It's about the danger of actively seeking out the Jinn, trying to control them.
Ah, yes. The ritual enslavement. This is mentioned in some interpretations of the source material.
It involves a relative, someone who apparently dabbled in the black arts. A cautionary tale, clearly.
Extremely cautionary. There are, supposedly, specific procedures outlined in certain texts for capturing and binding a Jinn.
Binding, like forcing it to serve you.
Essentially, yes. Enslaved. But the ritual is incredibly dangerous and demanding. It has to be performed alone. It takes several days, specific hours each day. Absolute precision is required.
And the danger
is absolute. If you fail, if you break the ritual, sow fear, make a mistake, the sources are clear. The result is death or complete insanity or full body possession by the very entity you were trying to capture. The consequences are catastrophic and non-negotiable.
Wow. But what if someone actually succeeds? Even
success is a burden. A lifelong struggle. The master has to maintain constant control. This involves intense religious discipline, things like observing the namaz, the 5 daily prayers, rigorously, constant fasting
Right.
to maintain spiritual dominance, to prevent the enslaved jinn, which is always resentful, always looking for weakness, from eventually overpowering and killing its master.
So it's a constant battle even if you win.
A constant, precarious balance.
Okay, so this story is about someone who tried this. The narrator's brother-in-law's aunt. This was maybe 30, 35 years ago. She decided, apparently in secret while her husband was away, to try this ritual. Maybe she was naive, maybe arrogant. Who knows?
A reckless decision given the stakes.
Hugely. At first, the initial stages seemed to go okay, according to what she later recounted anyway, but then things started to happen. The atmosphere changed. She saw shadows moving fast in her peripheral vision, heard whispers with no source.
The initial manifestations, the environment reacting.
Then it became physical. Smoke or thick mist started pouring into the room. From nowhere. Unexplained, the temperature went crazy, swinging wildly, scalding hot 1 minute, freezing cold the next. Unbearably so.
Physical and sensory assault. Trying to break her concentration, induce fear.
It worked. She described crossing a point where it just escalated beyond control. She started seeing figures, described them as demonic figures surrounding her in the mist, heard terrible screams, unholy whispers right in her ear from the shadows. The fear became overwhelming.
The peak of the psychological attack.
And she couldn't take it. In the middle of the ritual, she just fainted, passed out cold from sheer terror.
Breaking the ritual. Failure.
Exactly. Failure to complete the binding. The immediate aftermath was physical illness. A severe fever. She was near death for days. But she recovered physically. Mentally, though, she was gone. The person they knew was gone.
How did she change?
Completely. She used to be cheerful, friendly, now cold, calculating, sinister. That's the word used. She stopped laughing, ever. Would just sit silently, brooding for hours. Family members would catch her just staring at them with this look of pure malevolence, deep hostility.
A profound personality shift.
But the most terrifying thing, she started having periods where she clearly, not herself, she would order people around, sharply, angrily, but in a voice that wasn't hers.
Another voice.
A deep, guttural male voice. The sources are explicit. It literally sounded like someone else speaking through her.
Classic sign of possession in many traditions.
There was one specific incident. Chilling.
Yeah.
She looked at her mother-in-law, and in the voice of the mother-in-law's late husband,
Oh my God.
ordered the old woman to fetch her some water immediately, using his voice, his mannerisms.
The psychological cruelty of that. Using the voice of a deceased loved one.
The fear in the house became palpable. The narrator's sister was pregnant at the time, staying with them. She was terrified to be alone in the room with the aunt. They realized this ritual hadn't just failed, it had thrown open a door. And something truly dark had walked in and taken up residence.
Horrifying outcome. The price of forbidden knowledge and failed ambition.
So, 3 stories. An abandoned house, a desert battlefield, a secret ritual gone wrong. Whether encountered by accident or confronted technologically or actively sought out, the Jinn in these accounts consistently shatter reality. They break minds.
And that really is the core theme, isn't it? These aren't just spooky encounters. They represent a fundamental challenge to our understanding of the world. They manipulate matter, energy, perception, psychology. If their presence can melt advanced optics, drive someone to murder through suggestion, mimic the voices of the dead, what does that tell us about the limits of our own perception? When faced with something truly alien, something made of that smokeless fire, is the terror we feel just the sound of our reality buckling.
That's a deeply unsettling thought to end on, especially framing these not as myths, but as lived, recounted experiences. Thank you for walking us through the context on these, and thank you all for joining us for this deep dive into the shadows. If these disturbing accounts kept you hooked, maybe made you look over your shoulder, please do show your support. Hit that like button, share this with someone else who appreciates a real scare, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Horror Docs will have more stories from the dark corners of the world coming soon.